G'day and welcome to the show. It is Thursday, 27th of March. Soul Covers here. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Twitter at Soul Covers. We hit 100 subscribers, so I love to see that. Been really enjoying the support recently, so let's keep it moving. Last night, winning night last night. Love to see that. Um, could it have been better? Yeah, absolutely. But still a great night. We cashed on the Wizards and Sixers overs. Like, keep that in mind next time the Sixers play. Total opens at 225 or lower. Just look long and hard at that over. We did lose half a unit trying to play that back on the middle at 231. I believe that game finished at 233. Damn, that was close. We yeah, so after during the show yesterday, we were saying that I wanted to back the Pacers and I wanted to take the under. I was waiting for the market to start creeping back down, and very close to tip off, we started to see some Pacers action and some under action. Neither of those ended up going my way. Um, LeBron James tip in. I think I could have picked up a Pacers +1 as well, so that stings, but that's all right. You got to hand it to the king, 40 years old, and he's still doing that. Also, just a very bad coaching job by Rick Carlisle, like not calling a timeout and bringing Miles Turner and Tyrese Halliburton back in, like, and just confusing, like subbing in Jarris Walker instead of Miles Turner as well. Like Jarris Walker ends up giving the offensive rebound to LeBron, so we ended up cashing on the Clippers and Knicks. That game goes way over. On Twitter, I said I was up like 2.8 units. I thought that was a 2 unit play, this Clippers and Knicks over. Turns out it was only 1.5 units, so still 2.25 units up on the day. We like that. That was a nice bet there. We saw the market moving. We had the projected total at 221, so nice cash there. And what was as sweat free of a bet as you could get, Boston -2.5. Boston win by 30 that game. Another instance of a team losing their star player and just winning and covering the number, that's as good a price on the Celtics as you're ever gonna get, and that was a sweat-free one. So we got 8 games on the card today. I've got 6 bets locked in, and we've been on a really good run lately, and we've been getting some amazing CLV lately. Like the last couple shows, I've had bets on my screen, and like most of them are just not even playable. Like I have to talk about what I would play if I was coming to the board with nothing. Today, I'm sitting on one very strong ticket. I'm sitting on another one that's like it's in a pretty good position, but then the remaining 4 haven't really budged yet. So definitely some playable angles here. We will discuss it now. There's one game on the card that I'm just straight up not interested at all in. We're gonna skip that game almost. First, we have the Cavs and the Spurs. Cavs coming off a long road trip, West Coast road trip. They did score a nice win against the Blazers. Seem to have gotten right a little bit. Ty Jerome is out. Evan Mobley is out. Charles Bassey remains out for the Spurs, just so you know. We have a spread that opened at Cavs -12.5, opened at Cavs -13.5 at the rec books. Now, the sharp books. Now everywhere's at 13.5. Projections also like the Cavs here at -17.5. Spurs have just been god awful lately. Everything here is just screaming, take the Cavs. Everything here points Cavs except for one thing. It's not the greatest spot to be backing the Cavs as double-digit favorites. First game back home after a long road trip, that's generally a fade spot for the home team. Cavs also have the Pistons on deck the following night. First game of a back-to-back here. They've also got the Clippers after that coming up. They're definitely eyeing off that game against the Clippers. So I'm staying off the spread here. If you picked up a 12.5, that's looking like a good ticket now. I did not. Just do not love the spot for the Cavs here to lay double digits, even if it is the Spurs. Look at the total. Rec books 236. The sharp books opened. What are the sharp books open at? I think they opened at like 237.5, maybe 238. Either way, we've seen this total just steam up all the way to 238.5. We saw Circa open at 238.5. We did see some other books get as high as 239, but now it's since dropped back a little bit. Definitely looking like an overspot here. I did look at this opening total against the projections. We got this at 242.5. I didn't pick that up in time. I do have some concerns about the Spurs. Like, I'm not sure that, like, are they even going to score like 105 points? Like, if they score like 107 points, like the Cavs have to score 130, which like they can do, but it is also a lot of points. I mean, we got the Cavs projected here at 130. Spurs are the league's worst defense since the All-Star break. Cavs team total is at 126.5, so a bit of an edge there as well. I don't have anything on this game as of yet. I've definitely missed the steam on the over. If you're holding an over 236, that's a great ticket. I am not, so let's move on. Next, we've got the Dallas Mavericks in Orlando. Orlando have been playing really well recently, 7-1 against the spread in the last 8 games. Going up against Dallas. Dallas just lost to the Knicks, got beaten up by the Knicks. Anthony Davis is marked as questionable for this game. However, he was quoted before this Knicks game as saying he's not playing versus the Knicks and that he's going to play against the Magic. So, words straight out of his mouth. He said he's going to play this game. I'm banking on him playing. Cole Anthony's doubtful. Pretty simple cap here. I don't think Orlando should be 6.5 or 7-point favorites against a Dallas team who have the best player in the game. Najee Marshall's been playing really well. He's a solid matchup against Paolo. Like he's not as tall as Paolo, but he's got like the strength. He's a strong dude. He can match up with Paolo like that. And AD's also a good matchup for Paolo. That Magic don't have a good matchup for AD either. Mostly 6.5s on the board right now. I managed to pick up a Dallas +7 for 3 units. Wow, we saw this open at 8. Damn, I wish I got that. Nice little sell high for the spot for the Magic as well. They've been playing really well. Time for them to come back down to earth a little bit. You've got Dallas, who are really like neck and neck with the Suns and the Kings to try and get them to play in. We like Dallas here. Now it's 6.5. I would still play that for a smaller play, maybe 1 unit or 2 units. I'm liking my 7. Look at the total. We saw this open at 218.5, and it has barely moved off that number. I do not have any opinion on this total. Magic have been playing a bit better offensively. Dallas have not been good defensively. They got AD back, so nothing from me here on the total. Pacers and Wizards next up. Pacers, both teams coming in off a back-to-back. Pacers, heartbreaking loss for them and me against LeBron getting that tip in. Wizards also on a back-to-back. They won against the Sixers, but in reality, they actually lost because they're tanking. The Sixers won because they tanked better than the Wizards that game. So, on a back-to-back, don't have injury reports right now for either team. I would expect a clean injury report for the Pacers. As for the Wizards, don't be surprised to see Jordan Poole sit out this game. Maybe Chris Middleton plays. He didn't play the last game. We saw this spread open at 11 at the rec books and sharp books. It's moved up to 11.5. I've got nothing on this spread here. Both of these teams are bad in these back-to-back spots. Pacers 2-9 against the spread. Wizards 3-9 against the spread with no rest. Projections right there at 11.5. I've got absolutely nothing on this spread, but looking at the total is where we hold our strongest ticket of the day. We picked up an under 238, played that for 3 units. Projections at 232, both teams on a back-to-back. Don't really have much for you guys here trend-wise. I just saw the board moving down. Projections at 232, picked up the best number on the board, 238, and that's all I need. Trends, and if the market and projections both agree, then that's sign me up. Now at 234.5, definitely priced out, would not play into that. Next, we have the Atlanta Hawks in Miami playing the Heat. We have the Hawks coming off the loss against Houston. We have the Heat coming off the biggest win of their season, game that's circled on their calendar ever since the Jimmy Butler trade, beating the Warriors there. Trae Young is probable. Duncan Robinson is questionable. Spread open at Heat -1, now up to Heat -1.5, Heat -2. Not much for me here on the spread. I actually, I don't agree with the line movement here. I think this is a letdown spot for the Heat, and even though they scored a great win against a curryless Warriors, they've been bad lately. They had lost 9 or 10 straight before beating the Hornets and the Warriors without Curry. It's not saying much to me. I have not played the spread, but I like the Hawks better here than the Heat. Look at the total. We saw this one open a bit all over the place. We've seen that with a few games on this slate where totals are just opening at different numbers. You could have played some middles with these totals. I do not have any middles on these totals today. We saw some books open at 229. We saw FanDuel open at 226. We saw the sharp books open at 227.5. Seems to be a consensus around 227, 227.5. I am holding it over 226.5. Got that down for 3 units. Projections at 233.5. We have the Hawks, second fastest team, second best over team, 20-14 to the over on the road, 24-12 to the over after a loss. Yes, the Heat, they're a pace down team, 4th slowest team in the league, but when they play a top 10 pace team, they are 15-10 to the over. The over is also 21-15 at home and 19-11 after a win. These teams have played 3 times. The over is 2-1 against 226.5. We've seen all 3 totals between these 2 teams close either at 226.5 or at or above 226.5. So we're sitting pretty good with this 226.5. It is slightly ahead of the market. We see Circa at 227.5. We see Bookmaker at 227.5. I still like this play. I definitely like this play, and you can go grab it at 227. I would still go ahead and tail that. Next, this will be a great game to watch as long as everyone's playing. We had the Lakers and the Bulls. Revenge Lakers coming into Chicago to play the Bulls. Lakers riding high after the Pacers beating the Pacers. Cost me 4 units in that game, but that's okay. Bulls also riding high after beating the Nuggets in Denver. We saw the spread open at -3.5, both at the rec books and sharp books for the Lakers. Projections got this as a Bulls spot. Bulls -3. Giddey is questionable. Vucevic is questionable. No injury report as of yet for the Lakers. It is a back-to-back for them. Bron could sit. Luka could sit. Luka hasn't been playing back-to-backs, but I'd say, like, gun to my head, I reckon both of them probably play. But it is hard to play into this spread where you don't know if Josh Giddey's going to play, Bron, Luka, Vucevic. Lots of question marks on both sides. I have been saying that there is going to be a time that you're going to have to sell high on the Bulls. I'm looking for that spot. I don't think it's this one either. Like, I think if LeBron and Luka get ruled in, like, say if all these players get ruled in, I'd say the spread gets out to Lakers -5 and give me some Bulls. Then we're gonna have to find a spot to fade them in 1 or 2 games time. But against a Lakers team that's coming off a back-to-back where they won by a game winner, even though it's a revenge spot, nothing from me on the spread as of yet. But where I have placed a bet is the total. We saw this total open at 239, both at the rec books and sharp books. We saw it get up to 239.5 at some point. Projections at 235.5. I played under 239 for 3 units. We have a Bulls team that is playing their first game back after a very long and successful road trip. Generally a fade spot, generally a rust sort of spot as well. We have the Lakers playing on a back-to-back, riding high after that win. Also in a revenge spot, so lots of injury risk, rust, tired legs, all spells an under for me. And then we also saw the sharp books move to 238. We see Circa move down from 239 to 238. We see Bookmaker at 237. We see a few international bookmakers on 237.5. So sitting on a pretty good ticket there. In terms of what you can do right now, if you can pick up a 238.5, I believe FanDuel still has one. I'll go ahead and play that. One more trend. This is what pushed me over the edge for the under. So the Lakers, they were favorites against the Bulls, and they're home favorites against the Bulls, and they lost by 20 points, or more than 20 points, and they're now playing the Bulls again as road favorites. Teams that are in that position where they lost as home favorites by 20 points or more, now playing the same team in a revenge spot as road favorites. The under is 41-23 all time. That is 64% blind betting the under. Say less. Yeah, I believe 238.5 is still available. Go and grab this. This Lakers Bulls under and the Pacers Wizards under are my 2 favorite positions on the board. This one's still playable. Pacers and Wizards is no longer playable. Next, we have the Grizzlies and the Thunder. Ja Morant is out, Brandon Clark is out, J-Dub is questionable, Casey Wallace questionable. We saw this spread open at OKC -10. Some 10.5s popped up. Then some 9.5s popped up. It seems to have settled back down at -10. Here we've got Bet365 at 9.5, but it's a juiced 9.5 for the Thunder. Projections at OKC -14. We like the Thunder in this spot. OKC have owned this matchup against the Grizzlies. They're 3-0 straight up and against the spread against the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies, they want to speed you up, and OKC can just play right into this, and they can do it better than the Grizzlies. Memphis, they just have nobody who can guard Shea. Like, you really trusting rookie Jalen Wells on Shea? I'm not. Desmond Bane, like, he's like a slightly above average defender, but without Jar, he's like your main ball handler. Like, do you really want to put that on Desmond Bane? He's just going to be cooked by the end of the game if he's guarding Shea and running 50 pick and rolls with Triple J. Like, yeah. Whereas, like, the Thunder, like, they have so many weapons they can throw at Bane and Triple J, like Caruso, Dort for Bane, Jet, Hartenstein for Triple J. Grizzlies just haven't been good against the spread lately, 6 and 14 against the spread in the last 20 games. I like OKC to win by double digits here. You can still pick up a -10, you can probably pick up a 9.5. Like, in terms of this number right here, I would rather play a -10 at $1.90 odds or -110 odds, but either is fine. I think you can pick up a 9.5 for -110 as well, hopefully. We also have a play on the total where we saw this total open all over the place. Just like that Hawks Heat one, we saw Bet365 and DraftKings open this at 242. We saw FanDuel open at 238. The 242s quickly vanished. Wasn't able to play a middle. I would have loved to have played a middle on this. I ended up playing the over 238. I thought that would disappear first. We played that for 3 units. I like the over as the stronger position anyways. Now, in terms of market movement, not great that we've seen all of the 242s move back to 239, 238.5. We saw Circa open at 239. They've moved down to 238. We see most of the board around 238, 238.5. So, if anything, the market has moved against me in this spot. So, what you can do right now, I still like the over in this spot. Had I known how this market was going to play out, I would have played it for a smaller position, maybe 1 unit, maybe 2 units. I mean, projections at 247.5, so massive edge towards the over. Here's the cap for the over. Grizzlies 17-2 to the over as dogs on the road. OKC 13-7 to the over against top 10 pace teams. Grizzlies fastest team in the league. Defense is starting to slip for the Grizzlies. Grizzlies 14-6 to the over against top 10 pace teams. These teams have played 3 times. Every single game has caught over steam. Their last matchup closed at 252. The matchup before that closed at 244.5. Both of those matchups caught over steam. Now, all 3 of these games prior to this one have fallen under the total, but the market direction is the more important piece of information here. So, I like the over 238. That's what I've got my bet down at for 3 units. What you can do right here, I'd still play it 238, 237.5, maybe for 1 or 2 units, but I'm grading it as 3 units at over 238. This is the game that I told you I wanted to skip because I have got absolutely no opinion on this game. Rockets and Jazz spread open at 11.5, now at 12.5. We see Circa at 13.5. The rest of the board is at 12.5. Do I really want to lay this many points for a Rockets team that does not need to cover this spread? No. And the Rockets team that has honestly been very difficult to handicap this entire year, like losing outright to the Nuggets without Jokic. They've just been a very challenging team to bet on. In altitude this game, if anything, I'd take the Jazz in this game, but Jazz are tanking. John Collins is out. Larry Markkinen is out. Last time these teams played, Jazz won in Utah as 9-point underdogs. I believe there were only 9. The spread was only 9 because the Rockets were on a back-to-back. Maybe they were missing a few players as well. Yeah, so nothing from me here on the spread and total. We've seen the total open at 228. Not much movement off that number as well. Um, Rockets are 14 and 6 to the over against top 10 pace teams. Jazz are a pace up team. They get up a lot of threes and they allow a lot of 3 pointers as well. Just looking up one thing, I want to see how the Rockets have performed in these revenge style spots, and they are just 50% against the spread in these revenge spots. So let's move on. Last game on the card is the Kings and Trailblazers, not the Knicks. So this spread kind of caught me by surprise a little bit. 5.5 for a Kings team that's lost 4 straight against a Blazers team that's fourth best team against the spread. Like, it seems very fishy. Yeah, like it is a desperation spot for the Kings. They really want to fend off these Blazers for the play-in. Blazers coming off a loss to the Cavs. Both teams want this play-in. And yeah, Tamani Kamara is questionable. Malik Monk is questionable. That's basically it. Projections at Kings -2. So here we see an edge for the Blazers. Blazers are 4 losses behind the Kings. So this is a very important game for both teams, especially the Blazers. Denny Advia is playing, that's important. These teams played in early February in Portland. Portland won as 2-point underdogs. We saw a bit of Blazers action come into that game as well. This is one where I'd be happy to take the Blazers at a +5 if I get that market information telling me to go back the Blazers. This spread has not budged at all. So nothing from me here on the spread. We see the total open at 226.5 in the rec books, 225 at the sharp books. Not much movement here in the total. Projections like the over, but I don't really want to play an over in a game that's going to be like a playoff game for both of these teams. So nothing from me here on this game at all. It'll certainly be a good game to watch, but nothing for me to bet. Let's get into our best bets, where we've got 6 of them, and a lot of them are still playable. We have Dallas +7 at Orlando. I don't think you can get a 7 anymore, but you can probably get a 6.5, which still okay. Still okay for like 1 or 2 units. Wizards, Pacers under 238. That is no longer playable. Heat and Hawks. I like this over, and I'd play this for 3 units if I was coming to the board with nothing. Projections at 233.5. Hawks, second best over team, second fastest team in the league. We also have the Lakers and Bulls under 239. Let's just have a look at FanDuel. Well, in Australia, we call FanDuel Sportsbet, owned by the same company. And yes, 238.5 is still available at FanDuel. So that number is still playable for the Lakers and Bulls under. Teams that are in the Lakers spot losing as heavy home favorites by 20 or more. The under is hitting at 65% in these games. Projections like the under as well. Market likes the under as well. We also have a pair of bets in the OKC and Grizzlies game. Right now, I definitely like the OKC spread more than the over. I'd still lay 3 units on the OKC spread, but I'd probably play like 1 or 2 units on the over, seeing most of the board move down from 242, 240 to 238. Maybe we'll see it pop back up, maybe we won't. Make sure you comment. Comment down below any action that you've got on today, any spots that I may have missed. Have you got a bet on this Rockets Jazz game that I refuse to do any research on? you want to fade me at all? Like, do you think the Lakers and Bulls are going to go over just like they did in that first game? They scored like 260 points that game. We will see. Until next time, let's get them look so deep.